All right, we have another little exercise here, and this exercise is titled Calculating Gross Profit and Preparing an Income Statement. Now, I want to say one thing. We need to know how to work with an income statement. So I want to say a couple things here. We're not being asked to do a whole lot, and yet we are being asked to do a whole lot because gross profit only exists if we have a merchandising business. Okay, it won't exist if we have a service-related business. Even if we have a manufacturing business, we have gross profit, but we call it something else. So, there are times when this concept or this idea of gross profit may not be covered until like the fifth chapter or so, but it's okay to get a glimpse at it now. And so this is probably like from an exercise in a book, because I see some drop-down menus here. But it says in 2017, Colgate-Palmolive reported sales revenue of $15,454 and cost of goods sold of $6,099, and it had net income of $20,024. So we had another exercise that used this figure already. It says calculate gross profit and prepare an income statement using the format illustrated in Exhibit 1.8. Now, this is making reference to a specific textbook, but you won't necessarily need that exact textbook, that chapter, or that page number to figure this out. Okay, so we have our income statement heading. This is we're only, let's see here now. I guess we do have to calculate net income, but this is a very, very abbreviated item. So one thing we want to understand is that revenues come first. So let's see here. They tell us that sales revenue is $15,454. So this was originally intended to be a drop-down menu item, and one of those choices would have been sales revenue. And since they've been so kind as to just give us the sales revenue, which I don't know what else they would do, we'll just plot it right there. Okay? Cost of goods sold is an expense. This is the cost of the inventory that we have sold to generate this $15,454. Okay? This is going to be our second item. Pay attention to the instructions always, especially if you were doing this as part of a homework. Do not use negative signs with any of your answers. Okay? Now, it would count it wrong if you did that, so you'd probably make a quick adjustment, but the bigger point here is read the instructions. Okay? Calculate gross profit. Well, the formula for gross profit is revenue minus cost of goods sold. That's our formula. So let's change this to an equal sign. So gross profit equals revenue minus cost of goods sold. So if that's true and we have sales revenue and we have cost of goods sold, well, then our next item here is going to be our gross profit. And let's see, now where did that calculator go? Clear that out and make it a little bit smaller here. Let me drag it back over here. 15,454 minus 6099 equals 9355, and that is going to be our gross profit. Okay. Now, I want to tell you also that they give us net income. Net income is the very, very last item, net income or net loss. is the very last item on an income statement. So I'm just going to skip down here to net income. And they've also provided this figure for us of 2024. So what goes here? Well, I don't know exactly how it's going to be worded, but essentially these are going to be our operating expenses. Now I want to warn you that I have not looked at an actual homework assignment online for this and utilized the drop-down box. So I'm telling you what it is. The textbook wording, if you have this particular textbook, might say something other than just operating expenses. Okay, but if our gross profit is $93.55, all we have to do is actually subtract out our net income to figure out what our operating expenses are. And that is it. And we are completely done. So we solved essentially for these two items right here. Okay?